Have you ever found yourself in a heated argument with someone you love, and suddenly you're saying things you don't mean, raising your voice, defending your ego instead of your relationship? We all have. But imagine handling that moment with calm, with clarity, with strength, like Marcus Aurelius in a hoodie. Today, we're exploring how ancient Stoic philosophy can not only help us survive relationship fights, but end them with grace, love, and wisdom. Welcome to Stoicism for Love. Ending relationship fights like a Stoic. 1. The problem with modern fights. Arguments in relationships often spiral not because of the issue but because of our reactions. You say, "Why didn't you call me back?" They say, "Why are you always so controlling?" Suddenly you're not talking about the call anymore. You're in World War III over tone, childhood wounds, and who said what in 2021. Here's what's missing. Emotional discipline. And that's where the Stoics come in. Stoicism isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about being the eye of the storm. It's about mastering your inner world, so you don't burn down your relationship trying to win an argument. What is Stoicism? Let's get this straight. Stoicism isn't just some guy in a toga staring at a rock for 6 hours. At its core, Stoicism teaches 3 major things. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. React with virtue, no matter the external chaos. Your peace is your responsibility. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Now imagine bringing that energy into your next relationship argument. 3. The Stoic Fight Toolkit. Let's break this down. Here's how to fight like a Stoic and still keep the love. 1. Pause before you react. Seneca said, "Anger is like a falling rock that breaks itself to pieces upon what it strikes." That snarky comeback, the eye roll, the sarcastic jab, all examples of rocks being thrown, and your relationship taking the hit. Stoic move: before you react, breathe. Count to 10. Ask yourself, am I responding or just reacting? 2. Focus on what you can control. You can't control their tone, their triggers, their past, but you can control your own words, your own state. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So when they say something hurtful, instead of firing back, try, "I can tell we're both upset. Can we take 5 minutes and talk when we're both calm?" Powerful, simple, Stoic. 3. Detach from the ego. Most fights aren't about truth. They're about winning. But if winning costs the relationship, what have you really won? Stoicism reminds us, the ego screams, "I'm right." Love whispers, "Let's understand each other." When you feel that urge to prove a point, ask, am I serving my ego or the relationship? 4. Choose virtue over victory. The Stoics believed in living with 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, self-control. So in the middle of the fight, choose. Wisdom. Is what I'm saying helpful or hurtful? Courage. Can I be vulnerable instead of defensive? Justice. Am I being fair or just frustrated? Temperance. Can I stay calm even if I feel attacked? Imagine how different your arguments would look if you practiced just one of those. For a real-life example, let me give you a real example. A couple I know, let's call them Sam and Jordan, fought constantly. Classic stuff. Silent treatments, door slams, the works. Sam, after reading some Marcus Aurelius, decided to try a Stoic approach. Next time Jordan got angry, Sam said, "I want to understand why you're upset, but I don't want us to hurt each other. Can we talk when we're calm?" First, Jordan was stunned, suspicious even. But over time their fights changed. They became conversations. Not because the problems vanished, but because Sam led with composure instead of chaos. 5. The Stoic Love Challenge. So here's your challenge. Your Stoic love mission, if you will. The next time tension rises, pause. Ask yourself, what would Marcus Aurelius do? Choose to be the calm one. Let love guide your actions, not ego. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Stoicism is not about never getting upset. It's about not letting anger rule you. You can be both strong and soft, both passionate and peaceful, both in love and a stoic. The best relationships aren't built on the absence of conflict. They're built on the presence of emotional maturity. So the next time you find yourself in a fight, don't just raise your voice. Raise your standards. Choose wisdom over war, presence over pride, peace over pettiness. In the words of Epictetus, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, it's okay to be the one who doesn't yell back. Because in the end, Stoicism doesn't just make you stronger, it makes love last longer. Thank you for listening. Now go love like a Stoic.